Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Hands-on SAP Dev with me, DJ Q Macro. I think I say that in my sleep now. I've said it, I don't know how many times I've said it. Maybe approaching 200, maybe? I don't know. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to apologise in advance. My hay fever has been pretty bad this week. I've just this second taken a tablet. I was thinking, oh, shall I take a tablet now? Because they make me drowsy, so I don't want to fall asleep in front of you. That might be a little bit disastrous. So I've just taken the tablet now. I'm not sure how long they take to kick in, but I've got my tissues here. I've got a box of tissues here. I've got my coffee to breathe in the fumes of, which is not very good English. Good morning, everybody. Anyway, so welcome, Weezers in Bangkok, Thailand, and fantastic, nice to see you here again. And Helmut, good morning to you in Brunswick, Braunschweig in Germany, and Andrew, old friend of the channel, Andrew Barnard in Melbourne. Yeah, sorry. In Melbourne, Australia. Chiara, buongiorno to you in Brescia. And AP, good morning to you in Dusseldorf. Marian in the house. Marian Sais in the house. Good morning. And good morning to Antonio in Madrid and Sahid in... I always say sunny Solihull because I quite like the alliteration. And, you know, Solihull is obviously a lot further south from where I am, but I still think of it as, you know, in this, so I think of it as in the south, and it's therefore sunny. So I just say sunny Solihull. I hope you don't mind, Zaid. Kazatis, buongiorno. Here's to capire. Exactly, Matthias. Good morning to you in Dortmund, and good morning, Andre. In fact, Andre, thank you for saying hello, by the way. And Andre and I had a little chat this morning on LinkedIn on the messaging thing. Private messages, whatever they call them. Sudarshan, good morning to you in Waldorf, and Mark Teichmann, grüß von der Kieler Woche. What's happening there in Kiel this week? Tell us, Mark. But yeah, so Andre and I were having a little chat, and he said hi, and also said, basically, can you send me some stickers, please? Because I keep saying to everybody here, if you want some stickers, I've got a few stickers. I've got a box of stickers. This is my little box of stickers. I was running out, and then when I was at Code Connect, I hope nobody noticed. Maybe Marian noticed. I know Marian was there. Matthias was there, and Mark was there. In fact, maybe you saw me. I was just grabbing loads of stickers from the sticker table so I can give them out here. So I've got, for example, some, just like to remind you, I've got some awesome UI5 stickers. I've got UI5 Con stickers, slightly smaller. I've got some awesome recap stickers, sort of, you know, normal and then dark mode stickers. Dark mode version, is that what you call them there? And I've also got a few, maybe one or two of these super shiny UI5 stickers, and some SAP community stickers, and finally also some of those rare banned Devtoberfest stickers. Oh yes. So if you want any stickers, I can send you a few, because I want to spread them out. I only send, you know, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever in an envelope to you. But you know, enough for your laptop to stick a couple of on your laptop. Then let me know. Send me a message on LinkedIn, for example, and then we can you can give me a postal address to send it to. I've got some stamps here. Look, I went to the post office, got some stamps. Woo-hoo. So yeah, I'm ready to send some stickers. And welcome. So it's the largest sailing event in the world. Amazing. Being in Kiel, I can understand why that's a perfect place for it. You can watch the races live using SAP Sailing Analytics. Fantastic. Good morning to you, Rafał, in Poland. And Ulrich, good morning, Ulrich Brand in Frankfurt. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat here. Is there anything else I need to tell you before we start? I think that's it. I think that's it. It's very windy here today. The boat was blowing around last night, and I'm under some trees as well, which I'm a little bit worried about. You know, maybe I over worry about everything. But anyway, so let's get going. Let's go to the main scene. In fact, the main scene, I've just started putting a bit of insight into the inner workings of a live stream. The main scene. I use Streamlabs Desktop to do my live streaming. It's pretty good piece of software. Go straight to YouTube. Anyway, and I've got the scene. I've got the scenes defined. Tiago, welcome, old friend Tiago. So I've got all the scenes defined here. Standby video pre-roll. We need to update that. got the intro scene, got the main scene, video top right, main scene, video bottom right. So I can press the buttons on my, I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, I've got a Stream Deck buttons. So press the buttons to go to different scenes. Anyway, so there's within each scene you have sources. Logitech Small, that's a camera here, and then you've got circle border, circle, and the display, my screen, and the Yeti microphone, which is just, I don't know if you can see it or not. No, you can't see it. There. Anyway, DJ, digression already, amazing, ridiculous. So we have today the SAP Developer News. I have been putting them as usual in the in a comment to the corresponding entry in the SAP Community Events. However, our SAP Community platform is not very well at the moment. I don't know what's going on. No idea. But anyway, it's fascinating to see what's going on, and obviously Catalina, a bit of Java there, a bit of Java servage there. It's quite interesting to find out from the error messages, like, oh my goodness me. Anyway, I've added them here. So I've got the developer news link here. So in fact, let me press the comment button to see if it's worth adding more, or will this save fail? Let's see, comment. Okay, it works, perfect. I'll just carry on adding them. There we go. So edit. Okay, perfect. So yes, this week's SAP Developer News, in which we say happy birthday to ABAP Git. That's the first and foremost and most important thing. Happy birthday, 10 years since Lars, more or less, I don't know exactly what day it was. It was a day earlier this week, I think. Lars put a really cool post on LinkedIn, and it was 10 years ago that he made the first commits. Chanakya, good morning to you. Welcome. So that's all in the developer news, and also another item in the developer news is the newly published SAP Open Source Manifesto, which is quite cool. So yeah, very, very proud of the OSPO team there. They're doing that. Keep pushing the boundaries there. There's Guillem. They're putting some merging in there, license change, blah, 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 licenses, yeah, yawn, whatever. Dwight, good morning. Good morning, Dwight. Okay, so that's that. Let's jump straight to where we were. Does anybody remember what we were doing last week? Yes, so I mean, obviously I do, because in fact I've just watched last week's video earlier this morning on two times speed. Just like, DJ, what we were doing last week? What was it all about? Oh yes, it is. Oh my goodness, good morning to you. I'm gonna call you Vaz, because I can't even read that word because my eyesight's not great. So I'm gonna call you Vaz. Good morning, Vaz. I hope you don't mind calling you me calling you Vaz. What we were doing, as I know now from watching the replay back, is back tautological? Watching the replay, we were halfway through defining this total stock unbound function. Okay, and in the process of starting to think about that, we also, hey Stubbs, welcome, wearing a washing up marigold rubber glove there, that's fantastic. Yavuz, hello, good morning, Capiras. Hey, I like that, good morning, Capiras. Capiras, I like it. Yes, we are Capiras at the moment. Capirates, that's what we should call ourselves. Amazing. Capirates. Fantastic, thank you, Yavuz, for that inspiration. Brilliant. Okay. What? Yes. Oh, yes. So also we had a little bit of a look into what this sort of classic thing we see in lots of sort of implementation files, grabbing a reference, a mechanical object definition of an entity, and we looked at how that worked. We understood a little bit about destructuring. And one of the things I was thinking about this when I was watching the video, the replay, thinking, the CDS.entities bookshop, that is the service name, right? Hey, Piyush, good morning, and welcome to the Capirates team. Amazing. And I was going to say, I've also seen places where you just have CDS entities and just like that. Okay. Does anybody know yes. Classic Andrew, very erudite observation there. Could be grammatical erudition. Could be read as cap irates. Yes, if it goes wrong, we become cap irates. But if it goes right, we're cap irates. This is completely random. So it got me thinking. What is that all about? When do we use CDS entities without any sort of parameter, passing any argument to the thing there? And when do we use it like this? When do we use it with the bookshop? And I thought we should do an experiment first of all to understand what's going on there a little bit more, and then we'll start digging into the total stock and start doing some. That expands automatically. Start replacing this sort of simplest thing that could possibly work. Now, let's open up a REPL again, CDS REPL. We did this last week, so we don't need to talk about this as though how it works. So await CDS.test. Let's just bring that in. Okay, so now we've got a server running on 41401, right? Actually, I wonder if that's accessible. It is, yeah, 41401. There we go. Just a normal cap server. Cool. Don't need that anymore either. Don't need that either. So we did this, right? We did CDS entities, and we said CDS entities books, right? That's how we did it. Let's do that there. And we saw that what we got was this definition, this sort of, season, a YAML representation of the season definition for that book's entity, right? Fine. And then also during last week we did a select. Did we select from books? Oh, actually, CDS entities books like that, right? And then we saw, okay, yeah, it's asynchronous. We got to run it. So if we say here, await, see the digression number 2 already. One of the really cool things about the shell, a proper shell like Bash, is that you can have different sort of input modes, readline modes, and I've got it set up Bash RC, so that the mode, the readline mode, is VI mode, so I can sort of bring something up there, and then I can go back and forth with W and B and CW and blah, blah, blah. I can use my Vim finger knowledge to modify command lines. However, in, for example, the CDS REPL, which I think is based on a Node REPL, right? There isn't support for these multiple readline modes, and by default, I think a lot of the things by default will therefore have this sort of, what I think of as an Emacs mode, where you can go between the start and the end of the line with Control A and Control E, for example, and I'm sure there are other things as well. So Control A start of the line, Control E end of the line. I think that is Emacs, isn't it? Anyway, so if we go there and say await, Control L is clear screen, obviously. Let's do that a little bit bigger. Await what? Select unexpected character. What? What do I do there? Select from. Select from CDS entities. It's probably I was messing about with the editor books. Await. Yeah, don't know what was wrong with that. It's probably some sort of control character I added by mistake. Okay, so we got that. Okay, we got that. And I thought, okay, well, what is the difference between that? Let me do that again. Let me clear the screen and do that again. What is the difference between that and bookshop, which we did as well, right? We did. Did we do it there? Let's undo that change. There. That's what we ended up with, right there. In fact, I'll put my head down the bottom. That's what we ended up with. So why are we specifying this bookshop string here as a parameter, as an argument to the CDS entities? Now, remember main CDS, remember that this service is called Bookshop, so it's like a bit of a namespace. So if we do this, we get the same answer, i.e. we get the 3 books in our CSV, books in our book CSV, Hitchhikers, Mostly Harmless, and Player of Games, right? Now, I was thinking, can we determine where there is a difference? I was just thinking this before, and I thought, yes, let's do this. Let's have a bit of a pre-digression so we can understand a little bit about what is going on with the CDS entities. And where is it now? Let's have a look. Tell me if I'm rambling too much and digressing too much, but I think this is quite interesting. I think this is potentially quite interesting. Just get on with it. CAP. Let's go into the CAP hire. Service projection, maybe? Service projection. Views and projections. The as projection. What I'm looking for. Well, actually, why don't I look? As projection. Here we go. As select. So here we go. Right. So what we've got is entity books as projection on org.qmacro.books, which is of course a reference to the org.qmacro namespace. It was brought in from DB schema, which is of course, let me put that across there so we can have that sort of. In fact, I'll put that there. In fact, that'll do actually. Yeah. So it's a projection on this thing, Bookshop. Now, that's just a pass-through projection. All we're doing is just like pointing, in a way. But you have the possibility. You have the possibility of doing a as select, which is just up here, right? The as select from variant. Use the as select from. Because I've seen this. I've not really used it myself, but I've seen this. I thought we could try this. To use all possible features an underlying relational database would support using any valid SQL query, including all query clauses. So, if we do, hello Neefles, hello Neefles, and welcome. So if we were to say here, tell you what, let's get out of the REPL first and CDS watch. Let's start up the watch. Yes, let's have that always running. CDS watch is the best thing ever. Listening as usual. In fact, you know what we'll do? ENTR C, as in rerun this again. Clear screen. Run the bash command with the following thing: curl silent local. I did it again. Lolcat local host 4004 OData v4 bookshop books JQ boing 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 boing. There. In fact, yes. All right. Do that for now. Right now, let's do that. And let's say, let's have this. Let's do this. As projection on. No, we don't want as projection on. We want as select from org.qmacro.books. Right. Let's have a look. Entity something as select from something, and then some sort of SQL. We don't want to do a left join. That's too complicated. Why don't we do this? Why don't we try to say where stock. Well, we've got the stock 5, 42, and 100. Where stock is greater than, equal to, greater than 10. Greater than equal to 10. How about that? So now, stubs is field restriction by role good use case to user select removing sensitive fields in select. Possibly, however, I think thinking that's a really good question. Again, all the questions, all tips, all hints, all everything, any thoughts you have in the chat, please. Yes, it's amazing. Yes, although here's a phrase. It's not my phrase, but it's a really good phrase. Services are cheap. So if you had a circumstance where you had a certain role that you only wanted to give access to certain bits of data, maybe certain elements or whatever, then you could create a service that was then restricted to that role, and then inside that service you would have those role specific restrictions. Does that make sense? But yes, generally, yeah. I mean, there's lots of ways of doing what I think you're talking about here. I suppose my answer would be yes, and think of it in terms of maybe defining a separate service. But you could do it as well with at a lower granular level. Okay, does that make sense, Stubbs? Does that make sense? So now, what we're doing here is we're saying, well, only show the books where we've got at least 10 in stock. So hopefully we won't see the player of games anymore. We'll see Hitchhikers 42, and we'll see Mostly Harmless 100. Let's save that. There we go. Now, we have now modified the service and changed the book's projection to a select with a bit of SQL to restrict that, right? Now we have that. Let's go into the CDS REPL. I'll be lazy. Await CDS test, right? And now, what we did before was select from CDS entities without the brackets and the bookshop namespace, right? We get 3 records, i.e. this as select from isn't coming into play. Because what we're effectively doing is looking at our CDS model at the schema level. Okay, I suppose this is the equivalent of, I don't know, org.qmacro, right? As in, where is it? There, org.qmacro.books. We get 3. However, if we specify bookshop, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Put in the chat what you think. Are we going to get 2 or are we going to get 3? Meanwhile, while you put in the chat what you think is going to happen, Dwight, hello Dwight, says, I admire the fact that CAP gives you many options where to apply your business logic. However, this might turn to a maintenance nightmare, e.g. select statements in CDS or in services, in functions. Sorry, that's okay. Enough rope to hang oneself type thing. One of the beauties, like you say, one of the beauties of CAP is that the flexibility is almost endless. So it's important to understand where and how to apply your business logic, to apply your definitions, to apply the declarative parts to your services, to do the sort of the procedural or the functional or basically the code. Yeah, you have to know what you're doing. There's no two ways about it. That said, I think it's also very easy for us to forget how absolutely I almost said a rude word then, elbow achingly difficult it was before CAP to create OData services. So not only did you have the entire mountain of infrastructure to do yourself to stand up an OData service and then start thinking about business logic. Now we're left with CAP. CAP does everything for us apart from obviously the business logic. So at least the surface area of space, the service area where we need to concentrate and do the right thing is vastly reduced. Yeah, does that make sense? So yeah, I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. I suppose that's the thing there. Yes, and it's a really good point about business logic and declarative mixed up with SQL. However, you could see SQL as a declarative language as well, right? Arguably SQL is declarative, and therefore it's just an extension to what we think of as CDS being, you know, CDL being declarative. Anyway, great point, Dwight. Great point. Stubbs message retracted. Chanakia 2. Dwight, thank you, DJ. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Fantastic. Great comments. Great observations. So, I see Chanakia 2. I even forgot what question. Yes, exactly. Let's try that. Check it out. So now with this CDS entities bookshop, we're going through the service to look at that data. And in fact, if we have a look at this, if we get rid of that, yeah, there we go. Look, check it out. We not only get what kind it is and what elements it's got, but like we saw last week, but also look at that. We get the query. We get the query in. Can anybody tell me what language, what mini CDS DSL, domain specific language, this is expressed in? I think it's query notation, isn't it? There we go. CQN. I think that's what it is. CQN. Anyway, I thought, CQN, Chanakia, fantastic. Chanakia is on it. It's on it like a car bonnet. Amazing. So there we go. So I thought that was quite interesting. So now let's be comfortable in the knowledge that we know what is going on with main.js, with this, right? And shall we keep that or shall we get rid of it? Let's keep that for now. You know, let's see how it trips us up, and now start thinking about main.js. Oh, let's get rid of that there. There we go. Yes, keep that. Main CDS. We'll get rid of that as well. Yeah, there. Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of it after all. Okay, fine. I don't like the way it expands there. How do you get rid of that there? Okay, fine. So now we want to start thinking about how to answer this. So let's go back into the REPL, CDS REPL. I wanted to do a await CDS test automatically when I go in the REPL. I wonder if we can do that. And start thinking about our query. And also our query notation, what we want to write in the CDS REPL and be able to transfer that into our main.js is query but it's not query notation, it's the query language, right? The CDS query language is based on standard SQL, which enhances by all these amazing things, right? So, and this is something I thought it would be worth. Oh yeah, let's put this in here. CQL. We always put CapI in brackets, but when if it's a CapI thing, don't we? CapI CQL is there. Now, what I originally got slightly confused about, because my brain's very small, I have no idea what I'm doing, was this documentation about CQL in general, but what we then need in order to do things like await select from books. Oh, did I let me bring in the books there. There, that'll do. There, books equals that. Oh, not book. Sorry, where is it? Oh, DJ, don't be so lazy. Just do this. Books equals CDS entities bookshop books. There. What? Book. What is going on? Bookshop. Books. Okay. Books equals. Let's have const there as well. Const books. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. So now we've got that. Okay, now we've got that. Oh, bookshop, books. Where is the where's the query gone? Anyway, let's not go there for now. Okay, so now we can say await select from books. Right? We got those three. Why did what? That of course. We've got I did get my brain is like memory of a goldfish. We got rid of the as select from, didn't we? So we get the three now. Okay, fine. Hello, Arun, and good morning to you. Good morning to you. Sorry, maybe I need some more coffee or something. I don't know what's going on with my brain today. Yeah. Okay, so we get that. So now let's start to think about how we can use query language like this, like that, to get to the total stock. Can anybody suggest what we might do? And while you type in what we might do and what we might add and use from a query language perspective, let's think about what the answer might be based upon. Go over here, and we have the query language here. However, because, and this is where I got a little confused at the start, because we are doing this in the context of Node.js, you know, this is a Node.js REPL basically. 1 plus 2, 3. Yeah, it's Node. Hi, Abhishek. Hi. What we want to look at is not only the more general information about CQL, but more specifically how to query in JavaScript. Of course, there is also probably, I've not looked, Java services, event handlers. We've got to be querying somewhere in there, right? Working with CDSQL, build CQL statements. Okay, so it's all about ending up with some SQL. I like what they did there. SQL, same thing. Ending up with some CQL, but ending up with it by using the facilities in either Node or Java to get there. So that's, you know, this is a bit of a more of a clue. Build SQL statements, right there. An API to fluently build SQL statements in Java. But we're not using Java, we're using Node. So we look at this and it, you know, it's the same sort of thing. Constructing queries. Module CDSQL provides a SQL-like fluent API to construct queries. This is what we're going on about here. Abhishek, hi. Which programming language are used? Generally or here? We're using Node.js for the programmatic implementation of services, and we're using CDS to define our model, our schema and services and everything. And we're using CQL as our query language. So we can see here, we recognize this. Look, select from books where. So let's just try that and just start to sort of flex our fingers. Select from books where, that'll do. ID, in fact, let's see what happens there. Select, await, select books where ID, well, it's not going to work, is it? But there we go. Okay, but we can see that. Now, what even is that? What even is that from a Node.js JavaScript perspective? Has anybody else apart from me wondered, why does that even work? What is that? What is that? Why is it working? Put in the chat what you think. But the answer is, well, how can we find this? Select. Let's go to select. Here we go. Fluent API to construct CQN select query objects in a SQL-like style. In contrast to Chanakya object. It's an object, exactly. Chanakya is on it. Select itself is a function acting as a shortcut to select.columns, thereby resembling SQL syntax. Now, I did see somewhere, I was looking at this the other day, object. I saw it somewhere, but we can find out ourselves, can't we? We can say here, select. Oh, actually, we saw it there. Look, select in the Node.js REPL. It sort of shows us what that thing that we've just typed in evaluates to. And look, it starts with blimey, says Georgios. Welcome, Georgios. Blimey. What are you surprised about? In a good way, I'm sure, right? I'm constantly surprised about everything. Look, we can see an object here because it starts with an open curly. So in fact, why don't we try this? Object.keys select. Check it out. So that's why we can type into a Node.js REPL or in our JavaScript here, select dot one. I wonder if we can do this. Object.keys select dot one. So it's almost, you can imagine that it's like dot from. Look at that. Look at that. So this is like this, well, what do they call it? A fluent API, right? A fluent API. Everything is, Janakia, brilliant. Everything is an object in JavaScript. Exactly. But don't you think this is beautiful? Select dot one dot from. Okay. So in my head, I'm now seeing select is the root node of this tree made up of nested objects, and the leaf nodes of those objects are actually functions. Okay, so that's why we can say select dot from books. Or we could, of course, anyway, yeah, select that from books, and that and now we are understanding what we're looking at here. We did this without the await, but check it out. This is CQN, query notation. It's a builder pattern. Yes, exactly. It's a builder pattern, or sometimes some people call it a fluent API. Exactly. And I think what Stubbs is maybe referring to is where you'll see, I think it's quite common in Java land, where you'll have like a call to a function, then, quite often, nicely, on the next line, dot something, next line, dot something, next line, dot something. And you're building something up over multiple chained calls to something. I think that's also how, or it's a style that the SAP Cloud SDK uses or encourages you to use when you want to build queries that you're going to construct and send to a remote system, right? Pretty sure that's the case. Vaz says, sorry to interrupt, that's all right. I'm currently working based on ABAP programming. What are the possible ways and references to scale up to RAP or CAP or advanced technologies in SAP as a developer? The perennial question. Basically, Vaz, join things like this. You're already winning. You're joining live streams. You can watch the previous live streams here. So yeah, check out. We have tutorials on the tutorial developers.sap.com tutorial navigator. There's a put in there, put in the thing there. Tutorial navigator. If you haven't seen that so far, check out the tutorials. Lots of tutorials on CAP, for example, and also RAP. But yeah. This is for CAP. I would suggest you look at the CAPI documentation, but also watch the series that we've been doing so far. So Yavuz says linked list in C. Not quite the same as what's in my brain. I know why you're suggesting that as a link. This Fluent API is a bit like a linked list. I don't see it so much as a linked list, but I can see that the next points to the next one, to the points to the next one, points to the next one. So yeah, I get it. Okay, so I hope that helps, Faz. I mean, I've not really answered that too much, but check out all the stuff we have on the SAP Developers SAP Devs YouTube channel. There we go. I'll put these in. SAP Developers YouTube channel. We've got lots of information there for you. Okay. Fine. So get rid of that. SAP tutorials. There we go. We don't need that. Query notation. Linked list is not function, just data structure. I think exactly. Yes, just data structure. So where were we? Select from books. So that means we can also say dot columns. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Press enter. Okay. Now, why do we get that? I mean, I think it's important to be comfortable with weird output. But as you can see here, what we have asked for in this prompt, let me put my head back up there again, in this prompt is the value of the columns property in the object, which is the select.from object, going back to what Chinaki was saying, everything is an object. And I think I'm right in saying, maybe I'm wrong, but that to me looks like one of those ES6 getters, i.e. as in getters and setters, i.e. it's a function. Let's have a look. MDN getter. Get latest. Get latest. I think it is get. Get syntax binds an object property to a function that would be called when that property is looked up. Get latest. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. If we do that, hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Obj get. Object latest. Let's do that. Let's do that. Put that in there. And then we say obj dot latest. C. I don't know what C means. Oh, okay. Obj. There we go. Latest getter. Maybe it's not a getter. Anyway, doesn't really matter what it is. It's a Java programming lang. How to work for this? It's a Java programming lang. Java or Node.js. Abhishek. Java or Node.js. Check out the CapIR documentation, which is here. cap.cloud.sap. Let's put the main CapIR thing in there as well. CapIR main page there. So check that out, Abhishek. I'll save that now, actually, while I think on post. Come on. Is it working? Is it going to work? Yes, there we go. So let's go back into edit mode. There, right. So anyway, that could be a getter. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. So select book from columns. Where are we? Columns. Oh, how about title? So if we now await that, check it out. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, I was wondering why, if we run that, it does something. And in fact, I did see it here. Select. Here we go. Yes. Select is a function acting as a shortcut, but also, there we go. Then, no, where is it? Constructing queries. Using floating domains. No, here we go. Queries are executed by passing them to a service's serve.run method. Right? Alternatively, you can just await. This is what we're doing. You can just await a constructed query, which by default passes the query to cds.db.run. So what's happening when we do this is, theoretically, cds.db.run query. Because don't forget, this thing here, without the await, let's get rid of that again, that's a query. It even says query there, right? So if we say cds.db.run, that's a function. Select.from books columns title. It's a promise, okay? So that's why we still have to await it. So it's not the await that's doing the magic. It's the actual magic, the general cap magic. And it's all magic. It's amazing. That if you send, if you write select it will basically, as it says here, pass the query to cds.db.run. So we can do this, right? Await. Same thing. So that's what's happening. Right, let me know. Is this helpful? I'm hoping it's helpful, because for me, and I'm just one of you, doing this and becoming more and more comfortable in the REPL or in the code helps you progress, because it can be a little bit overwhelming, all the different possibilities, the Fluent API and the different ways to construct queries. So being able to feel comfortable playing around and experimenting, I think is good. Right, okay, so let's oh, hey, what? Oh, I don't want to go there anyway, right? There. Now, if we then do this, select from books, column title, where, actually no, we don't want to do where, do we? What we want to do is select, what do we want to do? Total stock, select columns, let's do it this way, columns, stock from, I'm doing it this way deliberately with the spaces because it's just so crazy. Wait. Right, see what we're doing there? Let's make it a bit bigger, don't need that either. Oops. Option B. Because that is, it is enlightening. Thank you, yes, I agree. It is, just playing around with the REPL, it is super enlightening to figure out what is going on. So we're getting closer, no cigar yet, to being able to return the correct value in this unbound function response. So we sum the stock. Andrew, thank you, Andrew, for saying, DJ, get on with it. What we can do here, notice that we get, of course, an array of 3 objects, each with that. So we can say sum. Check it out. This is all possible. Sum of stock. Why is that possible? Have we got an example here? Sum. There, for example, in our select, we can just put any sort of SQL, and I'm deliberately saying it out loud without spelling it out because it would be CQL or SQL, in there, right? We can look there, B as C. So we could even do it, maybe do an as, right? Let's try that. Sum stock as the total. The total. Look how easy it is. Look how easy it is. One more thing. When we did this before, select dot, object dot keys select. Check out this. Select one. Select one. Just like in SQL. Select one or limit one, whatever, right? So why don't we add this? Select dot one dot columns. So now my Streamlabs says end stream, which suggests it's back. I did see it say disconnected, retrying. You're back. Okay, brilliant. Okay, fantastic. No idea. Well, actually, it's the first outage we've had in living memory. Back. I'm back. Okay, I can't remember what I was saying last time, but there we go. So select book from books columns dot one dot columns stock as total. Oh, dot one. What? Column reading. Ah, okay. So there we go. So object dot keys select dot from. We can only have localized, so we'll have to say select dot one from books. There we go. Fine. So let's put that in there now. Come on, DJ, stop messing around and just add that. Now, of course, what we're going to get, of course, is back again. Thank you very much. Like in a train. Yes, it's like I'm going through a tunnel. There we go. on the canal or whatever. Await expressions are only allowed within async functions and aren't they blah, 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 blah. Right, so we need to make sure that this function is defined as asynchronous. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? That's restarting there. Let's go to localhost 4004 here. We don't want that there. In fact, let's do it in the terminal, of course. So let's go out of here and listening. There we go. That'll do. Books. We don't want books, do we? We want bookshop total stock. Let's escape those brackets. Let's not even go there today. List. Let's just do this. Curl -s local host 4004 OData v4 bookshop total stock. Let's put that in single quotes. Are we ready? We're ready. Spelling, Chanakia, spelling, DJ. That's cool. We could do better because look, we've got total stock. The value of total stock actually is an object, isn't it? Remember, it was open curly brackets, total stock, colon, or total, whatever, 147. So actually we can go up here and say, what do we want? In fact, let's do it in a neater way. Let's have it in a block here, which will mean we'll need to return something, right? Return something. Let's say here const results equals, and then we'll say return result dot total, right? Because we're asking for total there, total. Let's see what happens there. Oh, there, and oh, what? DJ, you fool! There. It's getting too excited. 854, right, okay, that's one to get so excited. There, and there we go, 147, value, 147. Sudarshan says, I for sure need to rewatch this episode a couple of times. This CQL thing is cool. Sudarshan, I think that is the quote of the day, quote of the morning. It is. CQL is really cool, but it's also very flexible. And to my small brain, you have to think about it a lot just to become closer to it. Okay, so that's why I decided it was probably worthwhile me super digressing today and having a little play around in the REPL just so we can feel more comfortable with it. I hope that was okay. So now we understand what the heck is going on with this weird syntax that doesn't look like SQL, and it doesn't, well, it looks like SQL and it looks like JavaScript, but it looks like SQL only a bit, and it looks like JavaScript only a bit. But actually now we understand what it is, how it works, why it works, and we can appreciate it more and feel more confident, hopefully, in modifying this stuff. Right? Now, it's 8:55. I was going to then suggest we do one more function, but this time we'll do a bound function. Let's define it now. Let's bring in main CDS, right, and we'll define a bound function. So we've done the total stock, which is an unbound function. So now if we go down here and say, right, let's have a function. This is something I'm thinking about this, not for this area here, but I'm doing the developer challenge next month in July. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to give the game away right now, but one of the things is I want people to work out how to do something like, stock value. So I thought we could apply stock value here. Imagine we have CSV. Imagine we have price on the thing as well, right? So let's add here price 10, price 20, price 30, right? So we've got price in there. Obviously that's going to break because we haven't got the thing defined in there. So let's add in the schema oops, price. There we go. Price. Now. Get rid of that. So now we've got listening. No. Books. JQ there like that. So we've got price now. So what we want is a bound function that will give us the stock value of a given book. So the player of games, what is the stock value? It's basically how many are in stock times the price. So 5 3 150, right? So how do you define in the last minute? Andrew, thank you for joining, Andrew. It's lovely. Tea time now. How do you define a bound function? Let's just type it out and let's think about it next time. Actions, you have this actions clause. Function stock value returns integer. Oh, where is it? What am I doing wrong here? Actions. Sorry, there, actions. There. So now we have not only an unbound function defined, but a bound function. And look how it's bound through this little block here on the books. It's bound to the books entity. Okay. Dwight says, how many more sessions before the summer break? This is the best series ever. Thank you, Dwight. That's a good point, actually. I'm going away in August, so we'll try and do some next month in July. So maybe 4 more, and then we'll have to take a break. So yeah, that's it. So let's leave it there. We've defined this function. In fact, let's go to the website and go website metadata stock value. There we go. Look, function name is bound true. Parameter name in bookshop books. Okay, look at that. That's an implicit parameter. So next time, it's going to be next week, we'll work out how to define the implementation for this stock value, knowing what we know about SQL and SQL and all these sorts of things. But we'll need to know one more thing: how to get the value of the books key that's passed automatically when you call the bound function. Right. See you next week and have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Sorry for all the digressions, but there we go. It's all fun. Bye for now.